Peace and blessings to everybody out there. Welcome back to the Fake Woke Podcast. It's your boy Bobby VILN. I'm back with another video. Kwame Brown, the former #1 draft pick in the NBA. I think that was 2001. Played with Michael Jordan on that Washington Wizards team. His final 2 seasons in the NBA, he played with Michael Jordan. I think he also played with like Gilbert Arenas. Definitely played for the Lakers. Played with Kobe. Played for the Sixers and a couple more squads. He was in the league for about 12 years. Had a pretty long career, if you ask me. Shit, like a lot of people called him a bust. They said, you know, he didn't play up to his potential. I mean, shit, if he was able to remain in the league for 12 years, I mean, shit. I mean, he didn't put up #1 draft pick numbers, but I mean, shit, I don't really consider bro a bust no more. Shit, you want to know who was a bust? Anthony fucking Bennett was a fucking bust. I think he played like, what, 3-4 games in the NBA. He went to the G League, got kicked the fuck out. Yeah, like Kwame Brown wasn't truly a bust, but like, let's be honest. I mean, I feel like he could have been better. For sure, like what his last couple of seasons, he averaged. I think he averaged like a double or some shit like that, whatever. But yeah, Kwame Brown is all the rage. Everybody on Twitter is talking about Kwame Brown. A lot of people was talking about his Instagram lives. Kwame Brown popped up out of nowhere after who was it? Matt Barnes, Steven Jackson, and Gilbert Arenas had a little sit down on All the Smoke podcast. I was watching it a little bit. I actually fell asleep on it, but for the most part, they brought up Kwame Brown, talking about how he was joking about him and this, that, and the third. I guess Kwame Brown got, after what, like fucking 20, damn near 20 years or some shit, had enough of that shit. He was like, nah, y'all motherfuckers ain't about to talk shit about me no more. And he started going for people necks, boy. When I tell you he was going for niggas necks, he was going for niggas necks, bruh. And not only that, like, yeah, he went for Jamel Hill. She texted Kwame Brown. She was like, oh, you chose violence. And he just went in. He was like, ma'am, your choice of words. What are you trying to say? Black men are violent? This, that, and the third? Blah, blah, blah. I was like, damn, bruh. Not only that, he went at Steven Jackson's neck. He was like, cause I guess like Steven Jackson tried to call him like pussy for walking around with security. And Kwame Brown made a great point. Kwame Brown was like, at the time he lived in Los Angeles, one of the more heavily restricted states when it comes to gun laws. And he was like, damn right, I'm walking around here with security. Niggas getting robbed every day, and this fucking, the restrictions on gun laws is ridiculous out here, which it is ridiculous. And I personally feel like I personally feel like a lot of these restrictions when it comes to liberal states, democratically ran states, feel like a lot of these restrictions when it comes to the Second Amendment needs to be lifted. That's just me, but Kwame Brown made a great point. He was like, hell yeah, I'm walking around with security. Like, I'm not, he's like, it's to me, like, it's the stigma, like once you make it to like that certain plateau, like you gotta so-called keep it real or whatever the fuck shit is. I agree with fucking Kwame Brown. Like my G, like you're a multi-millionaire. You're what, like a B-list celebrity at best when it comes to status out here, because you're an athlete, bro. You're an athlete. People can turn on the fucking game and they can see your face. You're not an NFL player, bro. You're not an NFL player. They can hide their face for the most part when it comes to the helmets, but bro, like, you a B-list celebrity. Everybody know who you are, especially if you're playing up under Kobe Bryant. So like, I respect it. Go ahead and walk around with security. If you could afford it, go ahead and walk around with security. You ain't gotta crack no heads. They gonna crack those heads, and you ain't got no fucking lawsuit attached to you. You feel me? So it's just like, I mean, a lot of the shit that Kwame Brown was talking about, I felt that shit. He was talking about gatekeepers and all types of shit. He was referring to them as gatekeepers. Steven Jackson and Matt Barnes. This, that, and third. He called Matt Barnes Becky with the good hair. I mean, he is a little more marketable than Steven Jackson. Like, a lot of the shit that fucking Kwame Brown was talking about was legit. He was talking about, he referenced black people predominantly voting Democrat, all types of shit, and it's a lot of shit that I sat there and I spoke about. He even spoke about how Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson, how they have they have this stage. And like, you could choose to enlighten kids on how to get to the point to where y'all at, or y'all could, just choose to fucking entertain them and like just give them like basketball stories, this, that, and the third, blah, blah, blah. Now I don't really watch all the smoke like that. Every now and then, if they have like one of my favorite players on there, then like, yeah, I'll go watch that shit. Just if it's like a KD or like a Will or who else they had on that hoe? They had quite a bit. Oh, Zebo for sure. Like, if they got some of my favorite players that I used to like watching and whatnot, then like, yeah, I'll make sure I go tap in. But besides that, I don't really tap into today's shit like that. But he was spot on with a lot of the shit that he was saying. If y'all haven't watched his rants, I recommend y'all watch them. It's like, it's like Kanye rants, right? But you can actually understand where he's coming from. Not saying that Kanye don't make sense when he rant. Like, sometimes you just gotta sit there, you gotta listen to it 3-4 times before like you have your full opinion on what the fuck Kanye talking about. But his rants were legitimate. I give Kwame that. Like, even like, I'm not even gonna lie, I considered him a bust, but I was like a kid. So me looking at Kwame Brown, I'm looking at it from a basketball standpoint. I'm like, the fuck, like, this nigga's not putting up the numbers that he was supposed to put up as a number one pick. But now I'm like seeing it through a completely different lens. I was like, damn, they was trying to emasculate that little nigga when he was 18. Like, MJ did him dirty because the common misconception was that they picked Kwame Brown to help MJ win a title, but that wasn't the case. They picked Kwame Brown to trade Kwame Brown for Elton Brand at the time. So Jordan was supposed to receive Elton Brand, but they never traded Kwame Brown for Elton Brand. They basically was like, yeah, like you just gonna play with him. He's gonna be good enough. He's gonna be as good as Elton Brand within the following year or some shit like that. And Jordan just destroyed that boy. He destroyed that boy, and he was talking so much shit about the boy to the point to where it got to the media, and now the media started talking shit about him, and he just wasn't performing to a number one draft pick standard. That's just how I feel about his playing career. But for the most part, Kwame Brown ethered they ass. He ethered they ass, and I enjoy watching his live. So if you this is just for the basketball fans, but if you a basketball fan and you remember fucking Kwame Brown, bro, go watch those fucking lives. That nigga he's a monster when it comes to articulating himself and getting the point across, because a lot of the stuff that he was talking about, I've already spoke about, because a lot of these so-called activists and athletes and this, that, and third, he spoke about the activists. He was like today's activists, they are activists. He was like, the activists back then, they weren't living comfortable. They was getting their houses bombed, they was getting harassed, they had the FBI calling them up, tapping their phones, death threats, the KKK, all types of shit. Activists nowadays, you receive a Nike contract. You receive a fucking a Cadillac sponsorship. You living comfortably when you're a so-called activist or an activist. You fucking LeBron James. You dig what I'm saying? The only one that I kind of respect is fucking Kyrie Irving. That's the only one I fucking respect. That's the only one. Besides that, the fucking Colin Kaepernicks, these Tamika Mallory's, the fucking Patrice Cullors, the Sean Kings, all of these fake ass motherfuckers. Like, don't fall for the okie doke, because the activists never lived comfortably, ever. And he was talking about that. He was talking about all types of shit. And I never really paid attention to Kwame Brown like that besides his play, but right when those rants was hitting, even I was like, yeah, hey, that man the truth. We need to protect Kwame Brown at all costs. At all costs, we need to protect that man at all costs. And the funny thing is, it's like, I know a lot of people was like, what the fuck Kwame Brown do? Well, like, he actually has his own farm. He actually grows his own food. He actually, if I'm not mistaken, from what I've been paying attention to, bro, actually helps around the community that he's in. He might not be out here living like the rest of these ex-NBA players in these big ass houses and whatnot, but he got land. He's doing something for the people around him. So I mean, I'm gonna give him his flowers while he can smell them. I'm gonna give that man his flowers. Fucking shout out to fucking Kwame Brown if he ever sees this. I doubt it, but yeah, that motherfucker. Yeah, them rants. Yeah, that's must see TV right there. That shit. To be honest, is pay-per-view. We should have to pay for that shit, but hey, he did his thing. But besides that, make sure to tap into the Fake Woke Podcast. Make sure you like, subscribe, and share my content. Thank you. I appreciate it.